harder than fooling Penn and Teller once, fooling them twice. Tonight, we're gonna make Fool Us history because each and every performer has already baffled our dynamic duo, and they're back with brand new tricks, hoping for the same result. Will history repeat itself, or will Penn and Teller be redeemed? Let the rematch begin. First, in this corner, the tag team champions of magic. Here are Penn and Teller. Rematch magician has already won a spot in Penn and Teller's show, but he's looking to book a return engagement. Let's re-meet him now.
Fooling Penn and Teller was awesome. You can tell how excited I was if you watch the tape.
The joy that moment gave me is right up there with anything else that has happened positively in my life.
The thing is, I fooled them naked.
I didn't really know that it would become my thing.
All the people that saw that show expect to see me naked, all the time.
I just can't seem to break free of people calling me the naked magician or saying, oh, it's nice to see you with clothes on.
It's okay to perform naked. Junior is always naked. Benson is always naked.
Man, I want to put my clothes on.
Please welcome back Vinny Grasso.
Thank you. The last time I performed, I had to use a privacy screen. That won't be necessary this time. One of my favorite Penn and Teller routines uses a psychic gorilla. I heard a rumor that Penn and Teller have another psychic animal trick in their warehouse. One that they've never performed, and I don't even think they remember. I asked a close personal friend of Penn and Teller to sneak in and steal it. I mean, how cool would it be to fool Penn and Teller with their own trick? So he agreed, he got it, and he's willing to talk me through the trick via video conference just as long as I hide his identity. So if we can try and connect with the mysterious friend of Penn and Teller.
All right, so I stand here, and my identity's hidden, right? It's hidden. No one knows who I am.
No one can see you.
Good, good. You blurred me out. All right.
Yeah.
I stole this trick from Penn and Teller, and because they've got lousy security. They're idiots, and they've got lousy security. Well, even if they had good security, they'd still be idiots, but it would be too lengthy to talk about. Here, first let's look at the instructions here. Get a random volunteer from the audience. This may take a while, so I'll take a break.
Whoa, 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 stop, stop. Forget it, forget it, forget it. I think we can remove the blur and everyone knows it's Gilbert Gottfried. Teller, in your drawer over there, there's a foam ball. If you could take that out and give it a toss randomly into the audience. We'll try and find a volunteer. What is your name?
Mark.
Mark, let's give Mark a nice round of applause. Come on up, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Nice to meet you.
You too.
We're going to walk right over here, and hopefully we can call Gilbert back now that we have a volunteer.
Okay, perfect. Now go through the animals with the audience. Okay, so we've got a turtle. We have a raccoon. We have a penguin, an elephant, and this was left over by those other two Vegas. It's a tiger.
You mean Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah, Siegfried and Roy. Okay, and now, there's one more here, and that is My favorite parrot. Now we gotta have the volunteer look away.
So if you just cover
while
your eyes,
I make a prediction, and I conceal the prediction with this envelope. See, that's very well
Perfect.
concealed now. Now, Vinny, you take the duplicate box of animals that I sent you, and you show them to the audience.
I have a turtle,
Yeah?
an elephant,
Pick.
the spider,
That's-
the
Yes.
tiger, and the
Yes.
parrot. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, now have your friend close
That's you, Mark.
his eyes,
So close your eyes.
reach into the box,
And I need you to reach
and
into the box
remove
and
the
grab an
stuffed
animal. There you go. Oh,
What's that?
it's a gorilla.
What? It's a.
Did you guys do this?
What's going on here?
I think Penn and Teller.
That's not. How is that?
No, it isn't the parrot.
You had
I think they did it.
box of parrots.
It is a box of parrots.
Box of parrots. How
Wait.
could you possibly screw
No.
this one up? There's no way. There's no way. How could you be that
No, I think Gilbert. The prediction is concealed inside the envelope. It said inside, not by the envelope.
Oh, in the envelope.
Yeah, Mark's prediction should be. Mark, is that your prediction?
Yes.
Yes. Give Mark a nice round of applause for helping me, and Gilbert Gottfried as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Vinny Grosso! So, does it feel different to have clothes on?
So much different.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like it?
I think this is going to work for me.
it
I think this
works.
will be my new thing.
So the first time you fooled them, you didn't realize you fooled them.
No, I didn't. Being naked and on stage up here, first of all, this whole thing becomes a blur. But when Penn started talking to me, I had really no idea what he was talking about, and I just assumed that he was telling me how the trick was done. So when he said, "You fooled us," it was as genuine of a response as you can get. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a lot riding on whether or not you're fooling them? Because you already have one trophy.
Certainly fooling them would be great, but man, I didn't think I could do it the first time, and this is probably a longer shot than the first one.
All right. Well, let's see if Penn and Teller can expose your trick.
Okay.
So first of all, can we examine that box?
Yeah, there are a lot of tricky boxes in Las
No,
Vegas.
we can't examine the box.
This is not
You're
one
not
of them.
going to let us examine the box.
Oop.
Okay. That was not part of what we were busting you on. No, we had the other part. We think that when Gilbert was holding up that piece of paper, which is amazing. Gilbert's barely a monkey. Getting him to even hold up a piece of paper is remarkable. He can't do anything. He certainly can't fool us. He held up a piece of paper that was blue screen, green screen, chroma key, and you had one of your little minions out in the booth, out in the truck, that laid in the name Mark, didn't you? He was holding up a blue card.
No,
Was it
no,
a
no.
visual effect?
No, it wasn't exactly how you described
See,
it.
this is the problem you have here. If there's one thing we hate, it's being fooled. If there's two things we hate, it's being fooled twice by the same guy. If there's three things we hate, it's being fooled by Gilbert Gottfried. Now, I'm telling you right now, Vinny, we will not be fooled by Gilbert Gottfried. What I'm trying to say to you, Vinny, you idiot, is you fooled us. Do you understand that? That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I want to make this very quick. Stop. Don't give that to him. I want your word of honor.
Yes.
Gilbert Gottfried, that piece of did not fool us, okay?
Yes.
He did not fool us. Vinny did. But not Gilbert. Not Gilbert. Vinny.
Grosso pulls Penn and Teller a second time! Congratulations!
Not Gilbert. Not Gilbert.
We've got a fooler in the house.
But not Gilbert.
Not Gilbert.
Not Gilbert.
We'll see if we can
It
find
wasn't Gilbert
another
Gottfried.
when we
Gilbert
come
Gottfried
back.
will not fool me.
Irish are coming, the British are coming. Really, take a look.
Hello, I am Rhys Morgan.
I am Robert West, and we are
Time-traveling magicians.
And we fooled Penn Teller back in the very first season of this show.
Oh, why don't we travel back in time to show everybody?
Here we go.
Like every other magician on the show, we awaited their decision with bated breath.
It was a deck switch, then...
There we are.
What do you mean?
That's empty, this is empty. There was no deck switch.
You fooled us.
Yeah!
Well played, old chap.
Thank you.
When we fooled Penn and Teller, we weren't really expecting it. It helped enormously.
Help us leave our jobs.
It helped us leave our jobs, and it helped us sort of just get going, really.
Will we fool Penn and Teller again?
Well, we are time travelers, so we do know.
Well, yes, we know, but they do not.
Oh, good point. Let's find out.
From across the pond, here are Morgan and West.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Rhys Morgan.
And Robert West, together we are
Morgan and West magician
Time Travellers.
and all-round spiffing chaps.
And for our trick this evening, we need someone with some change in their pocket.
Or their wallet.
Or their purse.
Or their money belt.
In fact, a handful of change, a mere coin or two, will not suffice.
Yes, indeed. But not only some change, but a driver's license such that, well, we can tell who you are, frankly.
So if anyone does have a handful of change and a driver's license, please just raise your hand. Gentleman here with a beard. When you come to the stage, close the change in your hand so there's no way Mr. Morgan can see it, and make your way to the stage. A round of applause for this gentleman here. Big round of applause here.
As is soon to become apparent, I cannot look behind me or see what is going on the table behind me for any of the remainder of this trick. The easiest way to keep me honest is to have someone to do that. Thankfully, we have the wonderful Alison Hannigan. A big round of applause, if you would. Alison, would you join me just here, please, madam? Delighted to meet you. How do you do? Good. Alison, for the next few minutes, I'm going to stare directly into your eyes, and you are going to stare directly into mine. It could be said that I'll have eyes only for you. Now, should I attempt to turn around, look behind me or to the side in any way, shape or form, the signal to alert everyone is very simple and straightforward. Hark! Foul play!
Okay.
Obviously now, you are happy that I cannot see behind me. I'm not looking.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Now, if you would wait there a moment for me, Carl. Try this yourself. Close your eyes and see what you can make out. We promise not to run off when you have your eyes shut.
I mean, Alison, obviously, do not close your eyes.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Now hand me a coin, Carl. Happy?
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Have a go.
Quite a sharp note. That, quite simply put, is a penny.
Carl? Is that a penny?
It is a penny.
Excellent. Take another. Thank you.
Oh, two coins, but I think both the same, actually. Both of these are 10-cent pieces. What do you call that? Dimes? 2 dimes.
Carl, what are those 2 coins?
2 dimes.
Wonderful.
2 dimes.
Of course, at this point, it could just be blind luck. I mean, we are in Vegas, after all. Though I think you will agree that the next bit is a shade more impressive. Oh, good grief. 42, 15, 20, 20, 41, 2 cents. $2.42 exactly.
Carl, will you cup your hands together like so? $2.42 exactly. Carl, confirm for the audience that is 25 cents?
Yes.
50 cents?
Yes.
75 cents?
Yes.
$1. $1.25?
Yes.
$1.50?
Yes.
$1.75?
Yes.
$1.80.
Yes.
$1.85.
Yep.
$1.90.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
$1.95.
Yep.
$2, yes?
Yes.
$2.10.
Right.
$2.20.
Yes.
$2.30.
Yes.
$2.31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, $2.40, $2.41. $2.42. Exactly. Okay, one more question. This really is your ID?
It really is my ID.
Perfect. Now, Alison, I would like you to come up to Mr. Morgan and check there's nothing inside his ears feeding him information. No tiny devices, no speakers, nothing lodged within his ear canal relaying information to him.
No.
Could you also confirm, Theon, there are no hidden mirrors or screens that Mr. Morgan can see that they cannot, that is allowing him to see what is going on behind him?
No.
Then, when you're ready, listen closely. As I'm sure we'll all agree, this next bit is completely impossible.
That is a driver's license from the state of Nebraska.
What state is this driver's license from, Carl?
Nebraska.
Nebraska?
According to your driver's license, as written, your height is 5 foot and 10 inches.
Is that your height, 5 foot 10 inches?
It is.
Date of birth. Yes, date of birth is, was that September? The September?
Yes, 12 September.
September.
25th,
Yes.
Yes.
1979.
Is that your date of birth, Carl?
Yes.
A round of applause for Carl and for Alison, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Morgan and West!
Please do.
That was really, really amazing.
Oh, thank you.
We're quite fond of this.
Especially because I'm sure you're more accustomed to, like, pounds.
Yes, I'll be honest, it's been a whirlwind coming over.
been a whirlwind.
Yes, American coinage is very different to UK coinage.
You have to relearn all the sounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you guys have so many more coins. You have, like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, a few more, yeah.
yes, so you're time travelers?
Obviously.
Yes, so I guess you could tell us if you fooled them or not.
We would, but that would spoil... That's the whole point of them being. The only bit they get to do is telling us whether we fooled them or not, so why spoil it?
Why spoil it?
Why spoil it?
So let's check in with them.
Shall we?
Let them tell us.
Gentlemen, so good to see you again. And
Lovely.
good to see less of you.
I know.
Almost 100 pounds, right?
Yeah, you were the inspiration for that, so thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, man. You know, last time you were on, you fooled us. You really did.
We did.
And you fooled us mostly because we underestimated you a little bit.
Possibly, yes.
We're not going to make the mistake this time.
No,
We
it
have
would
a
be foolish
pretty
to.
good idea of how good you are. Now, we were wondering, no one in the United States would recognize this. You probably know about Piddingtons, don't you?
Oh, we do. Oh, we do. Yes.
You probably do know about it's a chain of stores or something.
Oh,
over
yes,
there.
very good
We haven't
chain.
spent
Very
much
good.
time over there, but you know all about that. And since you time travel, you probably know that we did an act called Mofo the Psychic Gorilla.
Yes,
which we were not nearly as good as you are.
Oh, bless you.
But you are wicked good. And you probably also know, because you time travel, that digital photography is very popular now. There's a time in the past where there was Kodak. You know about Kodak.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Oh, sure. Most acts that come on and do this kind of thing, first of all, they're not as good. And second of all, the audience doesn't really understand what they're doing because there's no cause and effect. The idea of having the drop in the glass, although you're not really supposed to believe it, part of your heart does. And that carries you through, and there's a reason for doing it. I love that it's the fact that you're doing it all with the sound, and that's just a wonderful act. And we love you guys. But I think we should have given you enough that maybe...
I think we're
hearing you. I think we're hearing you.
And we can infer meaning in your words beyond the meaning that other people would perhaps recognize in those words.
All right, so I'm guessing you know what they're talking about.
We know what they know what we know.
Awesome.
Everything,
Well,
we all know what's known.
You were fabulously entertaining. Thank you, Morgan and Wes. Thank you. There's plenty more magic in store. Stay close. Welcome back to a special rematch episode of Fool Us. And in the case of this next magician, it might be a little more of a grudge match. Take a look.
I have to say I'm really honored to be the first magician to be invited back for the third time. The first time I did a trick called Unshuffled.
It kind of blew our minds.
Not only did the trick fool Penn Teller,
You fooled us. Can you see that?
but based on video views and so on, it fooled a lot of the magicians too. The second time, the cups and balls.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to fool them. The only problem was they knew that trick a little too well.
It's now a tie. You get us last time, we get you this time. Season 5, kick our ass.
The thing I like most about coming on Fool Us is it pushes me to take my magic to the next level. So essentially, they've given me a gift each time. I have new routines thanks to being on the show, and this time I have a gift for them.
Back again on the Fool Us stage here with 5 randomly selected audience members is Paul Gertner.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Penn, last year you said, Paul, season 5, kick our butts. I'm going to give it my best shot.
I wish I hadn't said that.
Now, I asked the producers to choose 5 totally random people from the audience to join me, and I want to thank you for coming up and helping me out. I'm not going to ask your names because your names are going to determine the outcome of this trick. But first, a little story. In the early 70s, there was a study done in Las Vegas about winners and losers. They studied people that won big jackpots and people that went home totally broke. And there was a fascinating statistic in this study that said, for some strange reason, all of the winners in the study had an even number of letters in their name. And all of the losers in the study had an odd number of letters in their name. It became known in the gambling industry as the lucky study. Now the question is, could your names determine your luck? Let's find out right now. I have a pack of cards right here, 54. I have the jokers in the deck, but we won't use the jokers. And I'd like everyone to do me a favor, come forward and hold your hand out like that, and you're gonna put your finger on the back of one card. So all 5, come back forward, just hold your hand out like that, put your finger on one card, okay? Perfect. Now slide those cards out, okay? Slide them out, take them back to your seat. Now, I'm going to have all of you look at your cards, just like this, okay? Got it? Okay, and now I'm going to turn my back, and when I turn my back, I'm going to have you flip the card out to the audience, just like that, okay? Now, go ahead, you can turn it out to the audience, all right? And look at it. Now, everyone in the audience, remember one person and their card, okay? Now, flip the card back around towards yourself, and we will now be ready to go. Now, we're going to place those 5 cards back in the deck one at a time, all right? First card right over here. Now, normally a magician has to find 1 card, but, well, I have to fool Penn and Teller, so I'm going to do 5. Now, would you place yours here? And let's get back to the story. Now, has anyone ever heard of the name Thomas Preston? Probably not. Thomas Preston was a gambler in the early 70s, but he never really won much of anything. He read about the lucky study, and he decided to change his name, because when he added up the number of letters in his name, he discovered he had 13 letters in his name, a very unlucky number for a gambler. So Thomas Preston changed his name to Amarillo Slim. Oh, this is true. You can Google it. And once he changed his name to Amarillo Slim, he actually became very lucky, because Amarillo Slim had 12 letters in the name. And he went on to win 4 world championships of poker. The last one with a royal straight flush in spades. Not something you see normally in Las Vegas. Now, the question is, did changing his name change his luck? We're going to see right now with these 5 new friends I have here at the table. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to add up the number of letters in your first and last name together. Okay? Now, you can use your fingers to do this, to be sure. Yeah, by all means. Now, I'm going to take and start over here. I'd like to know how many letters in your first and last name together.
There's 15.
15? Oh, 15. Wow. We might be down to first names only here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You said 15? 15. How many in yours?
8.
8, and that's not your card by any chance, is it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How many in yours?
14.
14. First names only. Go to figure out how many letters in your first name. 14, that's not your card?
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You said?
14.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many in your first name?
17.
How many? First name?
Name, twin.
12?
Twin.
First name?
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname?
So 5.
5? Okay. And is that your card?
No.
No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And how many in yours?
22.
First name?
5.
5, and that's not your card?
Nope.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if this worked. Now, there's no way I could have controlled anything, but I had 5 random cards selected, shown to the audience, and I dealt the number of letters in your name. I had to use your nickname, but we got there. For the very first time, let's see if you're as lucky as Amarillo Slim. What was the name of your card? Do you remember?
Yes. It's the 4 clubs.
4 of clubs? Oh. And your card?
7 of spades.
7 of spades? And your card?
8 of spades.
8 of spades. And your card?
Red king.
A red king of diamonds. And your card?
5 of hearts.
5 of hearts. Just like that, and I thank you. Thank you. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, it's possible Penn and Teller already know how that trick was done. However, I promised Penn to surprise you. And remember I told you Amarillo Slim won his final World Championship poker hand with something you don't see too often in Las Vegas. And if we look at the bottom card of each one of these packets, if we're lucky, we just might find Amarillo Slim's Royal Straight Flush in Spades. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Good to see you.
Great to see you again. Wow, what have you been doing since the last time we saw you?
Well, it's been a lot. I've been very busy, and actually, as a result of being on Penn and Teller Plus, I have my own show now in Boston every Friday night. Yeah.
Do you think that you have even more writing on this fool than in previous?
Maybe, because I spent about 2.5 years on this trick.
You practice a lot.
I do practice a lot, and this one required that.
So, is there such a thing as practicing too much?
I think there is, yeah, because in terms of hands.
Oh.
You practice too much, hands cramp up a little bit because you're doing certain weird techniques and maneuvers and so on like that.
How many times did you practice this morning?
Let's see, to be honest, I think I did the trick about 15 times this morning. No, 15, 20.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Penn, Teller. Hi. Hi, guys.
Boy, when we see Paul Gertner, we worry. And this is an important one. It's the tiebreaker.
That's true.
You fooled us once. You didn't fool us the second time. Now it's the third time.
Yep.
And this is, Paul plays this game in a different plane than everybody else that comes out here. Because he did a trick that I am certain fooled just about everybody watching. And yet you sat there smug, knowing we were seeing you do every one of those 5 moves. Okay. But you were okay with that, because you're a rat bastard. That's why you're okay with that. And you were saying, well, you know, let him catch me at the other thing at the end. Okay? Now, when you turned your back on us, to the audience, that seems like, oh, he's being so fair and so honest. right? But you turn your back, we as magicians think he can do anything he wants with that deck. He's there by himself with his back to us with the cards in his hand. And then you said that you were going to add on a little trick at the end. And we think you did add on, and we think you added on something besides just a trick. You added on something to accomplish the trick. You know what we're talking about?
Did you do something tricky when your back was turned?
I didn't do anything tricky when my back was turned, but...
You didn't do it like that?
It's a Fuller!
Again, tiebreaker. Nicely done.
Thank you so much.
Two-time Fuller, and we still have more rematches in store when we come back. Welcome back to Fool Us. Two magicians have fooled Penn and Teller tonight. Can we turn a pair into three of a kind? Let's find out right now. Take a look.
I come from really humble beginnings. There's no way that I would have ever imagined that I'd be where I am now.
Teller's going to give you your trophy. Eric Jones has fooled.
I've been able to work literally all over the globe. And it's all because of fooling Penn and Teller. I travel 200 days a year. This whole thing is to make sure that I'm giving my son the best life I can so that he doesn't have to struggle the same way I did this time. If I fool Penn and Teller, I will be one step closer to having a theater that I can call home.
With two randomly selected audience members, please welcome the always money, Eric Jones.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Penn and Teller, thank you so much for having me back. Hey, how are you? I'm Eric, you are?
Avery.
Avery and?
Irina.
Irina. Guys, I want to show you something really cool with some really simple props, and I hope you enjoy it. The first thing I want to show you is a little lighter. Irina, do you know how to operate a lighter? Would you mind showing the audience? Give her a round of applause. Nobody's ever done it better. The other thing I want to show you lives inside of my Italian men's carry-all. Tell me, do you see anything inside?
Yeah, pieces of paper.
Pieces of paper, yeah? It's hard to count exactly how many there are, but I'll dump them out that way you can see everything. Watch. Take a look at them. These are what I like to call wish paper. You can examine it. Anything that you wish for can become available. Now, I know we're in Vegas, so what would you wish for?
$1 million.
That's a little small for $1 million, but we can try. We can try. Let's start off with something really small. You can place that piece of paper down, but if you don't mind, give it a little flick. And if you watch, that is one solid silver American half dollar. Thank you. Now, maybe you didn't know what to expect, so I'll do it again. We'll place another wish with another piece of paper. If you please, go ahead and give it a light. Bring your hand down just a little bit more. And if you watch, that is a second. But they say good things happen in threes. So we'll try it once more with this little guy. Go ahead and give it another little flick. And watch as the magic happens at the very fingertips. Money doesn't last long. It kind of runs through our fingertips. If you don't mind lighting the lighter one more time, I'll show you. If I add a little heat, I can create the illusion that the coin vanishes, leaving only two. Make sure nothing goes up the sleeves as we try it again. Give it another light, and watch the next one as it completely vanishes, leaving us with only one. Now, I want to use the last piece of paper to make a very special wish, to send the money home. So if you could, give it a little light. There's the wish. If you don't mind, you can hand me that. Awesome. Because here, inside of the purse, believe it or not, if you don't mind opening your hand, there's the missing money. Give these guys a round of applause. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll take these back. Thank you so much. Be careful on your way back.
Jones, everyone!
Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
But that was so cool.
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah. How long have you been into coin magic?
I've been in magic altogether for almost 20 years. I started with coin magic, and it's carried me throughout my entire career. Thank you.
Do you have a large collection of coins?
Well, Bitcoin is what I'm working on now. But, you know, I do have a halfway decent-sized collection of coins, yeah.
So how has your life changed since you've been on Fool Us?
You know, since the first time I was on Fool Us, I was able to pick up management. You know, I've been doing shows for years, but now my management has been able to hone in and get me higher-paying gigs, and it got me back here again, so that's been kind of cool. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you must perform all the time now.
It's a pretty extensive schedule, but it's, you know, it's what I ask God for.
Yeah.
You know?
And when you're touring that much, do you have time to practice? Or do you just practice?
There's nothing but time for practice.
Okay.
You know, I started off, I used to practice while I was at work between 10 and 12 hours a day. Now I've got it down to the point where I'm just using certain techniques just to, for muscle memory. But, you know, but stuff like this makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
Well, let's go to the boys.
Awesome.
Penn Teller.
Philadelphia. You know, Teller loves Philly. He loves Philly. That's where we really got started. You know, we did all our early stuff in Philadelphia. It was so nice to see it on the backdrop behind. And so nice to see you again, you know. Fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on us. So we're nervous. Last time we talked about animals. And we were wrong. We were wrong about animals. But this time we're going to talk about animals again.
Okay.
There was a 60s television show with a dolphin in it, which is also, I'm sure, near and dear to your heart. Like that Italian carry-all, which is a very wonderful thing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing that I'm sure means a lot to you. And having people right up there, right on you, right staring at your hands and doing things right in front of them and sometimes behind their backs, and sometimes the props are right there in plain sight that aren't the ones we're actually dealing with. And boy, how much more can I tell you?
I think that's enough. He needs to stop talking now is what he needs to do.
So they understand how
they
you
understand
did the trick?
everything.
So good to see you. You have such a
thank
great
you.
style and so good, man. Just love
Jones.
seeing it.
So nice to meet you. Up next, we'll see what brand new trick Penn and Teller have up their fine suit sleeves. Don't miss out. Trouble with the magic community for giving away secrets. They're not going to tell us how this next trick works, but if you pay attention, you will learn a few important principles of magic. Take it away, Penn and Teller!
You're right, Allison. We do like to let people a little bit on the inside for the reason we do this show. There's a term of art used in magic, misdirection. And that word, especially recently, has been used more and more by lay people. People that aren't in the magic community use the word misdirection. If you read editorials or pundits speaking, they'll say misdirection a lot. And the way lay people use it is wrong. Well, not wrong. You can't really use words wrong. They grow, they change. But less nuanced, the magicians use it. When lay people use the word misdirection, they often mean it as a synonym for distraction. Like, hey, look over there. I do something sneaky over here. And then when you come back, the magic's done. And the problem with that is that doesn't work. If you know you're distracted, look away. When you come back, you aren't fooled at all. But when magicians use the word misdirection, it's more complicated. It's more kind of a curating of attention, deciding the story that you want the audience to tell themselves. Now, this is a story of a vanishing chicken. Now, when I say it's a vanishing chicken and let you know the chicken's going to disappear, I'm already starting to misdirect you, already giving you the story. Now, we're going to do this in a really pure form because in another magic show, this chicken would have some cute little name like Clucky McCluckface or something. But no, just a chicken. And the chicken coop would be dressed as like a rocket ship or a train or something, and there'd be some story. But no, we're not talking about that kind of story. This is just a chicken coop. Once you're thinking the chicken is going to disappear. I already know a lot about the story you're telling yourselves. When I cover it up like this, I kind of know what you're thinking, kind of where your thinking's going, what you're focusing on, what you're concentrating on. And I know that you've decided that at no time will you allow your attention to wander. Misdirection. This trick used misdirection. Let me just see how we're doing so far. Can I have the house lights up, please, guys? Put the house lights up. I just want to see a show of hands. How many of you saw the gorilla with the cymbals? Should be all of you. It's a gorilla with cymbals. Now, a subset of that, how many of you saw Teller come out, cop the chicken, and split? Okay. Now let's talk about misdirection. How many of you saw us sneak the gorilla into the cage? Okay, that's many fewer. That's misdirection right there. Nicely done, George. Snuck right in there.
Oh, it's time for our show to go to bed, but we'll wake it up soon. Watch a fully recharged Fool Us when we return.